everyone, and welcome back here to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Today we're going to be working with this beautiful paper. This sheet of pattern paper, or DSP we like to call it with Stampin' Up, is Designer Series paper. It is from a pack called Unbound Beauty, and it's located in our new catalog. It is a beautiful pack of paper. Look at the beautiful side on the other side. And I wanted a piece where I could use both sides. And I want to show you what we're going to make. Now, this was my boo-boo card. This is sort of a hideaway gatefold. And you can see it hides away inside like this. And you see how I use the two different patterns. But if you notice, this piece is on crooked. It's all the way over this way. But when I was putting it down, I was looking in here. Yes, it's off a little bit in here too, but when you close it, it really shows that it's off. I remade it, but I used Pretty in Pink and the Moody Mauve, and this one I used the same pattern throughout because the back side of this was blue, so it didn't work for me. And I used the Thoughtful Expressions, and I loved the way this turned out. This was from Wildflower Designs, and the Designer Series paper is from, let me pull this, it is from Poetic Expressions, which I think is retired. But I was making it as a prototype, so to speak, because I wanted to see if what I needed to do to make sure this was straight. And I found out, because we do learn from our mistakes or our blunders. So when I put this in, before I glued it, I closed everything down to make sure that it was even on both sides. And this one turned out beautiful, up like this. It is just a beautiful card to send to anyone for any occasion whatsoever. We're going to remake it, but we're going to do it in the Summer Splash and this beautiful Unbound Beauty Designer Series paper. So let's cut our card base first, and you will need a full piece of 8.5 by 11. And we're going to put this in at 3 on the 8.5 inch side at the top. We're going to put it in at 3 1/4. And slice that all the way off, lay that to the side. Now we're going to put our arm out because we need to bring this. Well, you don't have to, but you may want to. We need this piece to be 10 3/4. You could very easily cut off a 1/4 inch right here and not have to bring the arm out. So either way, whether you line it up at a 1/4 inch here, or if you bring it all the way over to here to 10 3/4, it's going to be the same. So there is that little bit off of there. And you want to make sure you do this because I did a sample when I first cut this, and I didn't cut that little piece off. And of course, my gatefold did not fold properly for me. So just as a rule of thumb, all right, before we start assembling or scoring or anything, I'm going to cut this piece down. And this piece, you're going to need 2 6x6 pieces of paper. Now, if you got a 6x6 paper pack that you absolutely adore, by all means use it. But I was looking in my paper stash, and I saw this, and I really wanted to do it in this one. So I'm just lining this all the way up to this line right here. That's 6 inches. And I'm going to cut that off. And I know this is 12, so I know that that's going to give me 2 6x6 inch pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then I'm just going to stack these. You can stack them very easily. And we're going to do some trimming. Now, right now, they are both 6x6, so it doesn't matter which side you put up. I'm going to cut a 1 inch strip off of my left-hand side. Just make sure that you tap both pieces together and make sure that they're lined up perfectly. I'm going to bring that blade down. I'm going to hold that really tight, and I'm going to slice one, and then I'm going to turn it and slice it at 5. So you need these first 2 pieces to be 1 by 5. And let's go ahead and slice that right here. Now those are done. Now what you're left with is this. So we're going to turn it around so that our 6-inch side is to the top. And we are going to slice, because this now is 5 inches, we're going to slice a 1/2 inch off right on this top. So you're going to need to bring it over to a half. Let's make sure we've got it tapped down. A 1/2 inch. And you want to take your time cutting your papers to make sure you get them right. So that's 2 pieces. Then you're going to slide it up and you're going to cut another 2 pieces that is 1 inch. So that's going to give you 4 that are like this, 1 by 5. So line that up and slice. Then you need to cut one that is 1 3/4. So I'm going to come over to here and line this up at 1 3/4 and slice. And then your last piece are going to be 2 3/4 by 5. So 2 3/4, perfect. That's all the cutting we have to do on this one. Now I am going to do some scoring, but I'm going to bring my scoreboard up for this because we've got quite a few places to score, and I want to make sure. Now our small piece that we cut off that is 3 1/4 by 11, we're going to lay this in our scoreboard and we're going to score it right down the middle at 5 1/2. Just like that. I'm just going to fold it over. We'll burnish everything down in just a minute. Then we have our long piece. This was the piece we cut a 1/4 inch off of. We're going to line it up in our scoreboard. I'm going to turn it this way because it seems like it's trying to curl a little bit. And this one we are going to score. We're going to score at 1 1/4. We're going to score at 3 1/4. Now you can turn it around and do the same thing over, or you can come over to here and score it at 7 1/2 and at 9 1/2. Totally up to you, but this is our card. See our score lines? So now we can get this out of our way and we'll start doing a little bit of folding and burnishing. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and I'm going to start with this one. And I'm just going to give this a really nice crease, making sure that everything's lined up nice and straight, and it is. And I'm going to do it front and back. I want that piece to be able to lay. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold in and burnish, making sure this is nice and it meets up right there, nice and even. You've got a really good score. And then fold this one back and do the same thing. Give it a good burnish with your bone folder. Anytime you're doing a fun fold card, your bone folder is your best friend. So fold it over, burnish. I like to iron down the little cut edges so they don't look like they're curled up. I think it just gives everything a better look. Then fold that one back. And so when you finish, you're going to have something that looks like this. Can you see it coming together? I hope you can. All right, now remember we had these 2 big pieces. We have to decide now which piece do we want on the front of our card. Remember, this is the piece we're going to see. That's this outside piece right there. I am thinking we are going to be covering it up. So do I want this? I think I want this. I think this would be pretty right here. This piece is going to go on the inside. So this piece is going to go, let's see, this piece is going to go up here, just like that, as a decorative piece. All right, so I'm going to lay that to the side. We've got those pieces done. Now let's look at those 4 pieces that were strips. Now this is where you want to kind of get an idea of where you want these. I think I want this pretty green to show on the outside here, or do I want it here? I think I want that there because this flap is going to come down and cover this, and I want that contrast. Isn't that pretty? So let's go ahead and put these here. And what you want to do is make sure that they're outside to the outer edge as much as possible. We can go ahead and do our inside pieces. Let's do our inside. That's the wider piece like this. And it's going to be the piece right here. And I think for that one, I'm thinking I want to use the floral. This is so pretty. So I'm going to put one of these here. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at those colors. And then one right here. Then this is going to go here. And this here. And then we're going to have this that's going to go here. And this one here. I think that's going to be really pretty. So I'm going to take and move these up. I'm going to move these over. I'm going to go ahead and put these down first. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue. So I'm going to grab my little precision press. Just like that. And I'm going to lay this down. Something like that. I'm being extremely careful with my margins on this one because when you have a lot of matted pieces, if your margins are off, it is very telling. So I'm going to iron this out too because I see that little edge. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. When you cut your paper, it causes the paper to kind of curl on the corners just a little bit. I like to straighten that up. So this one's going to go right there. So I am going to do that and then lay this one down. Just like that. Give it a press. Okay. And we decided we're going to do this print here. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back of this one so that my green shows. And then this is going to go making really sure that my borders are nice and even. Give it a press. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. That would be here. And that one's going to go like that. So let's go ahead and get our glue. And it goes all the way out to the edge, the outer edge of that fold. And press. Now we have the other two pieces, and they are going to go like this. One here. And you can lay this out and do it any way you wanted to. In fact, if you wanted to use solid cardstock and emboss it, that would be beautiful. So, you know, I always say you do you. Make it your card by making it the way you like it. You might press that down. And now we're going to do this one and put some glue right here. And put this down. Something like that. Oh, I did that one wrong? Oh no, oh no, oh no. I put the glue on the wrong side. Well, you know what? I can always cut another piece. Look, I've got a strip right here. So let's just cut another strip. Okay, boo-boos happen. Y'all were probably yelling at me saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. So I think I'm going to cut a piece at 5. And then take a piece off at 1 inch. Yes, I did boo-boo. I did a major boo-boo. Let's do it on this side. Here we go. You know, we wouldn't be making cards if we didn't do a boo-boo every now and then, would we? It it's just one of those things that happens. And with me, I'm talking and putting the card together. So, of course, I made a blunder. But y'all always tell me you appreciate when I leave my blunders in and show you what can happen if you're not paying attention. So maybe that'll help somebody else that's making this card say, whoa, I don't want to do that. So we're going to open this up. Now on this one, I'm going to use the green. And these two pieces are going to go on both sides of this open area. So we're going to put one of these right here and one of these right here. So let's go ahead and glue those in. Just like this. And y'all know how much I love fun folds. I'm always very anxious to learn a new fun fold card. It seems like everybody loves them. And I think they turn out so pretty. So I am going to go ahead and glue this piece down right here. Now I do need to grab a piece of white cardstock for my sentiment piece inside this, but I'm going to go ahead and glue this down first. And I'm just going to run some glue over the back of this piece. And then we're going to center this in the middle of this folded piece of cardstock. Give it a press. And when we open this, we're also going to have a piece for the upside right here. So this piece is going to go in the top. Our white piece is what we're going to stamp on, and it's going to go right there on the bottom. You can see this card's not a hard card to make, but it really does pack a wow factor. I think anybody would love to get a card like this one. So let me grab a piece of white cardstock, and I'll be right back. All right, we are back, and I have my piece of white that is going to get stamped, and this will go inside here like so. And then I have my piece for my sentiment, and this piece is 3/4 by 3 1/4, and it's for your sentiment. I also have a piece of white that I'm going to use to cut a scallop frame out of that. We're going to also cut it out of this. The scallop frame actually from this, and the white piece in the middle is going to come from this. And I think it's going to be beautiful together. So we will run that through our die cut machine. So let's go ahead and grab that. Let's move our card out of the way. Get the machine out here. I know this is kind of big, but just bear with me. I'm going to put in my number 1 plate, my number 2 die adapter plate, and then a well-loved cut plate. You can see this is a very well-loved cut plate. But when this starts to bow upward, where when I push it, it's got a little spring to it, I flip it over, and my cover plate, I flip every time I use it. And my plates do not warp. They are nice and straight as they were when I first put them in. You can see they are perfectly straight. And that's how you do that. You just have to know when to flip your plate. Top one every time, the bottom one as soon as you see it bow, and see it's bowing on the other side. So when I flipped it, I must have flipped it. It's not bowing now. So we are going to put this in first. And this is my little scallop frame. It's going to cut the middle out as well. But for this one, we're not going to need the middle. I'll save that for another card. We are going to do that one first. And you can see the frame is in here. Now, this is a little tricky to get out, or at least I find it tricky. You really need take your pick tool or something that will allow you to poke in these holes to help release it. See what I mean? And you only have 4 holes on this die. to release this piece. So you have to be very careful because the last thing you want to do is tear this. So I like to get up under the edge of it like that and just kind of wiggle it. Oops, that one's torn. I don't want to tear this. So let's see if we can pull it out. It's because it's such a fine piece, it's very delicate. And it not only cuts it, it also embosses it. So you'll see when I get it out of here what I'm talking about. You just have to be patient and work it out. Now that is our frame. Is that not beautiful? And that's going to get glued down, so I don't think the little discrepancy right there is going to matter. And we'll get that ironed out and laid nice and flat in just a moment. Now we need to cut the white piece for just for that middle. So I'm going to lay that back there and lay my plate back this way. And I already flipped it. And then I'm just going to crank this through. I love the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. As far as a hand crank machine, it is without a doubt the easiest one I've ever used. And this is the piece we need. So I'm going to lay this over here out of my way because I don't need that right now. I'm going to flip that plate. And let's move these off our desk so we can have a space to work. All right, so now we have this piece. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and see if I can crease a little bit of the wool. You don't want to do it hard, but just enough to kind of iron it. That helps it to lay flat a little bit better. We're going to take glue, and I'm just going to hold it up in my hand like this, and I'm going to just pat my glue along here just to give me enough to adhere this piece to my front of my card. Like that. I'm going to lay it down so that I can get an amount of glue around here. Like that. Now this is ready to go right down in the middle of our little front card. And I'm going to give that a nice little rub just to make sure everything is adhered. And isn't that pretty? And then we're going to stamp on this. And that is going to go in like that. Beautiful, isn't it? So we'll do some stamping on here, and we're going to do some stamping on this one. So for this one, let's see, Unbound log. I think we're going to do this one as a let's do Hope. Love that. Is believing in a brighter tomorrow. I love this. So we're going to put this right here. And I love to mix my stamps. So I'm going to put Hope up here. And I'm going to put that right there. No, Toby. I'm sorry about that. Toby, I think he heard my husband coming in. And he always barks when he hears anybody out there, which is not a bad thing. Let's pick that up like that. And I think I'm going to use the Summer Splash ink just to kind of keep everything coordinating. And you can tell this is a fairly new ink pad because it doesn't look like it's been used a lot. So let's, since I haven't used this one, maybe I want to stamp it. That is pretty. Yeah, I think I like that. Now we can stamp it right here. Love that. It's so pretty. And I want to do a little flower or leaf. And this Thoughtful Expressions has the cutest little leaf right here. And I think that will look so dainty and delicate right there in that corner. Or do we want to do it in this corner? I think I'm going to do it in this corner because I want to be able to sign right there. So I'm going to grab another stamp block and grab that. And I'm going to ink it in that same color. And I'm going to come in a little bit of an angle and stamp. That is so pretty. So now we can go ahead and bring our card over. Bring our little card over. Oh, we didn't stamp on this. Let's see. We definitely got a stamp on this one. So what are we going to do on this little piece? I think I'm going to do the same one that I did on here because I know that it fits perfectly. And I think it will look very delicate and dainty. So let's go ahead and grab this one and a stamp block. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink that up. Put this right here. And I'm going to come right down to the bottom and stamp. Oh, so pretty. And then let's do our little sentiment piece. That's this piece right here. And I think I wanted to do the happy birthday. I don't think that's going to fit on there. So what if we do something a little bit bigger? Won't fit on there either. Okay, let's regroup. Let's try a different sentiment. I wasn't thinking that through. How about you are loved? We could do happy birthday. Hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. Happy birthday. We can do that. And I'll tell you what we'll do. On the front, we will put have a blessed day. That'll work. That will work. So I'm going to lay this right here. And I'm going to grab a stamp block. Pick that one up and ink it. And stamp. Very pretty. And then we are going to pick this one up And we're going to stamp on this one. Happy birthday. Love it. All right, for this, I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. I'm going to close this ink. Let's grab my, did I do them? Here they are. I got a brand new pack of dimensionals. And I am going to put in here. And one down here. And then let's get one here and one over here. And I think that will be sufficient. And then all we have to do is sit this in to our frame like that. And then for this, I'm just going to take my paper snips and I am going to cut an angle and an angle like that. And we're going to set this right about here. And I may even pop it up on a dimensional or two. I think we can put two right together right here in the middle. That will work beautifully. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Now all we have to do is put this in here and then adhere that to the front of our card and maybe a little bow, and we can call it done. Love it. Give that a press. Now we want to make sure we get this nice and straight in here. So what I'm going to do is move some of this stuff out of my way so I can have a little bit of room. What I want to do is bring this all the way down to the bottom like that. And then I want to close this up and then close this. And that looks really good. So that is what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is while I'm holding this in here, just like that, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a little line like that. Now I know if I line this up against those lines, I'm going to be in the right spot. So that's the way we're going to do this. So whoops, do not put glue at the top, and I did it on the other one and had to wipe it off. This is going to be sitting up above your card a little bit. So you do not want glue up to the top. You want to come down about a half an inch and put your glue. It's so easy to want to put glue all over the back of something that you're gluing down because it's what we do. So just kind of think ahead and try not to do that. So I'm lining it up like that. Come over just a little bit and down. Look at that and make sure everything is good. So let's open it, close it. I need to come over just a hair. I think we got it now. So I am going to crease it, iron it, and we are going to call it a done card. And there is our beautiful hidden gatefold card. Isn't that pretty? Love the designer series paper, the way it showcases the entire card. It's so pretty, all of the layers and everything, but we're not done. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of ribbon. See which ribbon we're going to use. And I think I'm going to use the pink because we do have some soft pink in there. And all I want to do is I want to tie a knot bow. Knot bows are so easy to do because all it is a simple little knot, just like that. And then I'm going to take my ribbon scissors and I'm going to cut the piece off right there. And then we're going to put that down right there on the top, just like that. So I am going to grab a glue dot and pick up the glue dot on my ribbon and then adhere right there. And of course, if you want to jazz it up a little bit more, we can always put some pretty and pink gems, or we can use the green, either one. I think we've got a lot of green, so I'm going to go with the pink ones. And I am going to put one right here, a little one right here, and maybe another little one right here. Oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this card and if this is something, a fold that you would like to make. And if you do make it, we have a Facebook group where you can show off all your projects over there. So the link for my Facebook group is in the description box below this video. My blog post is there. I will have instructions, measurements, and everything on a free PDF tutorial. I never ever charge you for my PDF tutorials. They are a thank you gift for you taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch one of my videos. So God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Savior. He is worthy. If you are interested in ordering any products from me, the link will be listed below. It's also on the PDF tutorial and on my blog. Thanks so much, and until next time, bye-bye.